What Italian foods can you find in your local supermarket? You could find mozzarella, parmesan, pecorino cheese or ham. All of these products are part of the massive Italian agri-food export industry, which in 2019 amounted to a value of 44.6 billion euros, a growth of 7% since the last year. Agricultural production, transformation, distribution and catering make up Italy's biggest sector, 538 billion euros and 3.6 million jobs. But all of them come from an animal source, be it cows, pigs or sheep. All of these animals are raised in intensive livestock farming facilities, and this practice, as you know, has some problems.
Now let's look more closely at the regions which are most affected. Southern Italy is the home of mozzarella, which can be produced with cow's milk or buffalo's milk. The main producers are Campania, Molise, Basilicata and Puglia. Parmesan is another Italian dairy product. It is produced in Emilia-Romagna only with Italian cow's milk. In the same region, pork meat and hams, which we call prosciutto, are a specialty. Therefore, intensive cattle farming is widespread there.
You surely consider this food as delicious specialties, but have you ever thought about what's behind their production? Since there's a huge demand for these products, they need to be produced in enormous quantities, and this can only happen through intensive breeding. Intensive breeding is a system designed to obtain the maximum return from animals with a minimum space and economical cost, and even if it's beneficial for the economy, it has severe impacts on the environment. These impacts especially regard the manure disposal, which if done incorrectly can affect the air, soil and water quality. In fact, manure contains nitrogen, which spreads not only in the atmosphere contributing to the greenhouse effects, but also to the soil and the water when manure is spread on the crops and penetrates the ground. Let's focus a little more on nitrogen. Nitrogen is a chemical element which makes up 78% of our atmosphere, but when it's excessive, the environment is unable to absorb it, and it pollutes the atmosphere, soil and water, causing problems such as air pollution and eutrophia.
Let's look at what happens to the ecosystem. Because nitrogen is contained in nutriments, when the soil has too much nutrients, it also contains too much nitrogen. The nitrogen that doesn't get absorbed by the soil also flows into underground water storages and into rivers. This causes potable water pollution. Because nowadays nitrogen is present in all water sources, universities have studied the percentage of which water is considered drinkable. As for bottled water, nitrogen can reach till 10 milligrams per liter. Instead, commonly used water, such as tap water, can reach to 50 milligrams per liter. When the polluted water reaches the sea, an effect called eutrophication happens. Eutrophication is when there is an excessive amount of nutrients in the sea, which causes a dense growth of plant life. The excessive amount of plant presence can lead to fish unavailability in the area, firstly due to less presence of sunlight, which is blocked by plants, and secondly because there is also less oxygen and nutrients in the water. Another problem is the smell pollution due to death of the algae. When they die, they produce the known rotten egg smell, which is not very pleasant.
Now we're going to talk about livestock air pollution. First of all, it is the most polluting sector and it is the 50% of PM 2.5 in Italy. The problem is that manure emits ammonia plus nitrogen oxides plus sulfates that create tiny and deadly solid particles that cause respiratory diseases and foul odors. Are livestock farming and coronavirus related? In northern Italy, there's a severe livestock air pollution, and as we know, it has a lot of COVID-19 cases. Indeed, the bulk of the cases is in Lombardy, followed by Veneto, Emilia-Romagna and Liguria. But could it be for the high population density in northern Italy? Also, another problem is that livestock farming could be a possible risk of transmission.